cancer on our society, social media is not. The TV is not. The cell phone is not. And AI will not be. Not any more than the pen and paper were cancers on society when they were first devised. These are tools human beings animate. They have to be used by human beings to fulfill their purposes. The same logic applies to guns and chainsaws and cars and forks and ropes and everything else we have devised over thousands of years. They all require human choice and action to animate, making it easy, should something go awry, to blame the tool that enables human conduct rather than address the core problem. Human purpose that drives that destructive conduct. All machines serve at least one purpose. Some machines are more acutely destructive than others, like guns and chainsaws. While both guns and chainsaws have productive purposes, they are by design machines of destruction. Cars and forks and ropes have multiple productive purposes. They are simple and complex machines we use on a daily basis. As productive as machines are, they can sometimes be used destructively or cause destruction. Simply put, guns can be used for hunting when in need of food, but even in that pursuit of survival, and everything boils down to survival, it remains destructive. Guns, however, are nowadays more commonly used in wars, destructive endeavors to begin with, and mass shootings all across America, most destructively in American schools. In their destructive context, are guns the problem? Not when used in war, although wars should be outlawed, but they definitely become a major problem when used in civilian society to kill innocent people, children. But it is undeniable that guns in civilian streets wouldn't be a problem if they were just laying there, not being put to massively destructive use by human beings. How do we remedy this problem? We regulate. The Second Amendment says our right to bear arms shall not be infringed. It does not say shall not be regulated. So Congress has a duty to regulate guns to reduce its highly destructive capacity in civilian society. Chainsaws are most commonly used to cut down trees, branches. When used for its intended purpose of cutting through wood, they are purely destructive, but presumably for a productive purpose that forwards the ultimate goal of human survival: shelter, fire, defense, and preservation of information. Wood provides all of those constructive and provides for all of those constructive and productive ventures. But it is undeniable that the repurposing becomes possible because of an act of destruction. So far as I know, there are no restrictions on how one uses a chainsaw. Maybe instructions on how to use them exist, and accidents do happen. But chainsaws don't have the destructive capacity of high-capacity rifles and guns in general. And so far, there hasn't been a chainsaw massacre in American schools. And I'm not ruling out the possibility of it, given the climate that we're in. Cars benefit humanity immensely, but car crashes, because of accidents and deliberate action, have piled up countless deaths. Some cars even blow up on their own these days, and that too the smart electric ones, automatically combust, provoked by nothing other than heat. We use some forks to eat and other forks to lift, but ill-intended human beings can use forks to stab others, causing potentially serious bodily harm. Ropes can be used to fasten and lift, but also to hang and quarter human beings. All these complex and simple machines animate and become tools of production or destruction when human beings use them. This applies to cell phones, televisions, the internet, and social media. The impact of these tools depend entirely on what we choose to do with them. Just like complex machines that we used to a productive or destructive means, the internet and social media has been used as a weapon against free, fair, and accurate information. In the information age, those tools have been used to spread disinformation and false narratives. These tools have created abysmal social black holes that have sucked in young, susceptible minds. But the internet didn't build the algorithms in a vacuum. It responds to human action and human choice. Using human behavior, social media algorithms push certain news stories over others. In a tacit way, social media algorithms open up ideological virtual universes that are untethered from reality, but initiated by collective social thought and choice. And many young people, unfamiliar with how social media works, fall into these black holes. But human beings still have to choose to enter these opened rabbit holes. The cancer on our society are irresponsible human beings behaving in ways that harm themselves and others. The cancer are those who manipulate algorithms and disrupt a free flow of information. The cancer are those who spread lies through social media, television, phone networks like WhatsApp and TikTok, and other electronic means. The cancer on our society is the open assault on truth and reality. The cancer is the division that Donald Trump creates every time he speaks. The mass brainwashing the MAGA movement has been astonishingly successful in. They hedged against the truths, and so far, they're at least neck and neck with the truth, or definitely not far behind. We can't solve this problem by condemning the tools we use. The problem is the misuse of machines towards destructive ends. Solutions lie in community policing, laws and regulations that are properly executed and not abused. The solution is education and real social connections that keep young minds from becoming isolated. Isolated minds gravitate towards the inherent social aspect of social media. We are human beings. We're social animals. We tend to yearn for social interactions and relationships. Our social fears are comforted by a virtual society and the buffer it provides. The control it gives the fearful person makes it easier for these people to rely on social media as their sole source of communication. But even in the recesses of social media, destructive human interactions seep in and corrupt the body politic. We solve that problem by engaging with young people. We solve that problem by mining the internet for malicious disinformation and destroying them. We solve the problematic aspects of imposing laws that require massive technology companies to periodically reset and clean their algorithms. We must require these companies to moderate their virtual spaces more responsibly. It's not a matter of left or right. It is not even a matter of right or wrong. It is a matter of truth, lies, and the preservation of a fact-based reality. It is a matter of preserving free speech while doing the utmost to shield virtual communities from speech that would in real life incite violence or harm others. Because social media is an extension of us. And social media serves to amplify what we are saying. And therefore, these social media companies have a responsibility when they introduce a product like an app or YouTube or any other platform for public use. And we must not shy away from demanding that these companies invest in responsible usage of their platforms. That is not authoritarianism. That is a rule-based society where certain rules are drafted to protect human beings from unavoidable fallout from a misuse or disuse of technology. Are some people predisposed to being violent? Are some people predisposed to spew disinformation, gossip, harmful gossip? Are some people itching to have a conflict where countless die just to see what happens afterwards? Yes. But there are many, many more of us who want a peaceful and thriving society. For me personally, growing up as a gay boy in East Central Illinois, where I couldn't come out to my family until I left home for college, the internet provided me with a social outlet. At that time, it was dial-up, and there were the AOL chats, and you could go to. Then it turned into gay.com, and for a good 10 years or so, you could communicate with people on that platform. And so my identity and me reaching out to people and meeting people, going out to drinks with people, building community became critical on the social media interface online, because my community was still ostracized. And this is before Oberfeld, this is before Obama came around, talked about same-sex marriage. This is before, this is when the Supreme Court has only afforded gay people the lowest level of protection the Constitution affords. And the virtual forum provided me with a social connection. And today I have 3 good friends that I consider to be good friends. One of them I met in college, where college provided me with a social environment where I had to immerse myself and build relationships in order to have a life, despite the fact that I was socially very uncomfortable, despite the fact that I had speech impediments and learning disabilities and social developmental issues that made it difficult for me to be part of a group. I got a friend from college that is a friend of mine to this day. Another friend I met through going out to the community, the LGBTQ community, that I wouldn't have been nearly as connected to if it wasn't for the internet and if it wasn't for social media in whatever rudimentary form it was in at that time. And the other friend that I have, my closest friend, I met online. And we met, I remember it was a Wednesday in the fall of 2009. We talked online, we were living close by, and we went down to the bar, neighborhood bar, to have a few drinks. And I remember, I remember how we met, and it was in a lesbian bar, and we have been friends ever since, and that was over 15 years ago. So I cannot discount the good that is there in social media. I can't, and even to this day, as I communicate with you through social media, I have to be responsible in what I say. And I am open to criticism, I'm open to debate, I'm open to any sort of interaction that would promote and be productive socially. And I welcome that. But I also, in my incremental nano way, do not allow abusive language to be used against people, whether that be me or others who comment on my platforms. I block them. I make sure that my people who follow my content are not harassed, and that is a responsibility that I have to take if I'm putting myself out there. And so it boils down to personal responsibility. And I want to insist, and I want to really focus in on personal responsibility. When you step into a virtual forum, into a universe on the internet, be responsible for what you say. Be responsible for what you do, the message you send out, because it does have an impact, however little, and let it be a positive impact on society instead of one that destroys people's lives. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.